What's up, family? Man, I want to have a real heart to heart with you guys. Man, it's about 2:15 in the morning, where I'm at. And that's in the East Coast time. I went to bed early last night, and I felt that, man, I had to. For some reason, I didn't understand why I was going to bed. I was watching something. And it's like, you know what? I need to go to bed early. Didn't understand why, but I knew there was a reason for it. I woke up this morning at 1:11. I was like, okay, God, what is it? Talk to me. Got on my phone and looked at some stuff. And I saw a post that one of my friends in California posted, and it was a lot of like atheist stuff. And I was sitting there, it's like, okay, I need to make a video about this. I need to talk about this. Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere. It's going to be profound. I promise you. It's leading up to it. And there's a lot of atheist stuff, and I'm laughing at it. And it's like, okay, this is funny. This is funny. Yeah, this is funny. This is cool. I want to talk about this. I need to make a video about this. And then God led me to my YouTube channel, and I saw a post, and I normally don't get up and do this. I saw a post, I read a post, and it hit me. It hurt. I felt it. I felt the pain. I felt the energy attached to this comment. And I want to read the comment, and I want to talk about it a little bit. But we're gonna go deep today. We're gonna go deep, and this, man, it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. One of the people that watched the video I put out yesterday about being compassionate and diving deep, they wrote a comment about 4 hours ago. Um, and they go by the handle of Heal Your Soul. It says, it feels like a burden sometimes being an understanding person. It's like you hold compassion and grace for others, but where's that compassion for you, that understanding for you? It's like we always get the short end of the stick, for real. Hard out here. I pray I get to a level of peace where I can still be an understanding person, but not let it harden my heart. It makes me bitter sometimes, not getting the love I give. But hey, God got us. And I read that comment, and I read it several times because I wanted to make sure I understood it. And the first time I read it, it was like, oh my God, I feel them. Man, I feel their pain. I feel the confusion. I feel the frustration. You know what I mean? I feel the animosity. I feel the bitterness. And I wanted to talk about that today. And it's crazy how that we go through so much shit in life, and it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem as though a just God will allow innocent people, loving, compassionate, giving people to go through so much fucking hell. You know what I mean? It's like, well, make that make sense. You know what I mean? Years ago, I was a single parent of my oldest two kids. Um, and one of the things that I did that God had me do was um, after I would put them to sleep, I had this card table, and I would sit there and I had the jigsaw puzzle. And I've talked about this before. And I would put on some jazz, and man, I grabbed me some wine, and I would sit there and I would just work on this jigsaw puzzle, 1,000 pieces, 1,500 pieces, whatever. But I would work on putting this puzzle together, and that was so healing in so many ways. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. It was so eye opening in so many ways. It was so profound to me in so many ways. And one of the things that I've learned from that was that, man, you know what? You got to have patience. You have to have patience to be able to sit there and put a puzzle this big together, to take it out the box and to put it all together by yourself. It requires patience. It requires an understanding that, man, all of these pieces belong together. You don't know how they fit, But you know that all of these pieces together are going to make this large, big, beautiful picture. Your job is to sit there and put them all together. Your job is to sit there, flip them all over, arrange them however you want to arrange them, but put the pieces of the puzzle together. And one of the things I had to learn about life was, man, that's what God does with us. It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like God is even giving a fuck about us when we go through so much hell, so much bullshit. You know what I mean? It doesn't even seem right. For me, I talk about my life a lot. We all have our own unique story. You know, and I grew up. It was weird because I wanted to love God, but I hated God. Again, my mother and father, I don't know if they were religious or not. I doubt it. My father murdered my mom when I was 2, right in front of me. My father was very abusive, physically and verbally. My father didn't like the fact that I was left-handed like my mama, that I was a mama's boy. And so I was rejected by my father. After my father goes to prison, I'm put in the custody of his sister, his younger sister, who's psychotically religious. You know what I mean? Just to the umpteenth fucking degree. And everything's a fucking sin. You're going to hell for farting wrong. You know what I mean? Everything was a fucking sin. We didn't celebrate holidays, none of that shit. Then we start keeping the fucking Sabbath, which is even fucking worse. You know what I mean? Changed our diet, every fucking thing. Couldn't eat pork. It was a whole bunch of stupid shit that we went through. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And I didn't understand it. I hated my fucking life. I didn't understand why God is so fucking loving, all knowing, all powerful, and yet he allowed all this shit to happen to me. What the fuck did I ever do to God to deserve this bullshit? And then on top of that, I'm hearing how God is so loving, God is so compassionate, God is so caring, and he's right there with you, and he's going to protect you, and whoop doop doop, and all this other shit. And then I get molested by church guys in the church on 2 different occasions. At the age of 6. And so you can only understand what that did to my psyche. I'm fucked. You know what I mean? I'm at war. I want to believe in the God. I want to believe in the Bible. But I'm seeing all this bullshit in reality. I'm hearing what these motherfuckers talking about. But I'm seeing the real. I'm living and experiencing the hell that God is allowing to take place. So, go back to my jigsaw puzzle. So I'm sitting there and I'm trying to understand. I'm putting the puzzle together and I'm not even making the correlation, right? Just putting the puzzle together. Just got my music on, man, sipping on me some wine. The kids are in bed. It's nice and quiet. It's peaceful. I'm putting the puzzle together. One of the things that God had to show me was Elijah. You know how fucked up you thought your life was? You know how traumatic you thought your life was? You know how unloving you thought I was? You know how dismissive you thought I was, Elijah? Understand that I allowed all this shit to happen, not to punish you, Elijah. And that's what you assume. And that's what so many Christian people talk about. God's punishing you. God's chastising you. No, Elijah, that's their bullshit. I allowed that to happen, Elijah, not because I hate you, not because I don't like you, not because I reject you. I allowed that to happen because number one, I love you and I love all these other people over here. You don't see them. You don't even know that they exist. Elijah, when you complete this puzzle and you see that every piece of this puzzle fits perfectly together in its own unique place, to make this grand, huge picture. That's what your life is, Elijah. Your life is one little tiny piece of this puzzle. Stay with me. Elijah, all the hell that you've gone through, all the pain, all the rejection, all the suffering, all the abuse that you've gone through, Elijah, I allowed it to happen because number one, I love you. I knew it was going to help you grow up. Yes, it hurt you. Yes, you felt brokenhearted. You felt rejected. You felt unloved. You felt abandoned. You felt disrespected. You were physically abused. You were emotionally abused. You were sexually abused. You went through all of this shit, Elijah. Because number one, I knew you could handle it. I knew you were going to hate me. I knew you were going to reject me. I knew you were going to become atheist and want to go to war with me. But I also knew you were going to grow the fuck up. I'm big enough, Elijah, to accept your hatred. I'm big enough to accept your misunderstanding and all your other shit that you went through. I, as God, I'm big enough to handle all of that. But I knew it was going to help you. I knew that you were going to grow up. I knew that at this point in time, divine timing, you know nothing about divine timing. But I knew that at this specific moment in time, you and I were going to sit here and have this heart to heart conversation. And you were going to be able to begin the process of healing. Not only were you going to begin the process of healing, but you were going to begin the process of being able to see the big picture. And that was going to aid in your growth and development. That was going to aid in your healing tremendously. Because you are going to be able to get to the point in life where you're going to be able to connect with me, not with fucking religion. You had to go the hard way to understand that there's a major fucking difference between being religious and being God-like. Being religious don't make you God-like. Being a Christian don't make you God-like. You got to have a connection with me. I don't give a fuck about how much of the Bible you could quote, or the Quran you could quote, or any other sacred book you could quote. I don't give two fucks about that bullshit. I want to know if you can relate to me. I want to know if you can connect with me. I want to have a relationship, an intimate relationship with you. Why? Because I'm in you. See, most of y'all think that I'm way out here somewhere in the fucking sky. Looking down, oh, he's too busy to come worry about us and da 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 da. No, I'm within you. But we're going there today. I'm just laying the groundwork. It's probably going to be a little long, but it is what it is. You have to grow up. And that's hard. That's why most people never grow the fuck up. That's why you got 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 year olds fucking spiritually immature, emotionally immature. Because growing up emotionally and spiritually is hard fucking work. So God had to show me, Elijah, I allowed you to go through all the shit that you went through because I saw the big picture. I saw all your broken tears. I saw your humiliation. I saw the times that you wanted to commit suicide. I heard you crying out to your mama, even as a young adult, wanting to come home to her, wanting to die. I saw that, Elijah. I heard you, Elijah. When nobody else heard you, I heard you. When nobody else felt that, Elijah, I felt that. You put on all those muscles, you got all those tattoos, and you were intimidating to a lot of people. But I saw the real you inside. I saw the broken you inside. also saw the loving you, the compassionate you, the giving you, the helpful you. Elijah, I see the big picture. Everything I do is for the big picture. I allowed you to go through those things. Number one, you don't understand it. They don't teach all this. But you came here. Your soul, your spirit came here because you wanted to go through some of these things. You needed to experience this trauma. You don't remember why. You don't remember making the agreement, but you chose to come to this motherfucking planet to go through the shit that you went through. But because you don't remember, now you want to play like a fucking victim. Oh, we're going there today. I promise you, some of you are going to get pissed. Some of you are going to get triggered the fuck off. And it is what it is. We got to grow the fuck up. You chose here to go through this shit. Don't get here now and get fucking dementia. Don't get here now and all of a sudden talking about this ain't fair and this I didn't deserve it. You asked to go through this bullshit. Why? Because you knew that you needed to experience this, because there's some shit that you needed to learn. And that's a hard pill to swallow. This is a grown folk channel. We ain't sugarcoating shit here. Not at all. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Everybody can't handle this. Everybody don't want to hear the fucking truth. And the truth is we got to stop acting like a fucking victim. The truth is we got to stop acting like fucking crybabies and spoiled, entitled as fucking brats. This society is creating a generation of fucking weaklings. This generation is coming up weak as fuck emotionally. Can't handle shit. But we're going there today. This generation is growing up so fucking smart, so fucking woke, so fucking deep, so fucking enlightened, and don't know who the fuck they are or why they're the fuck here. Can't tell these little bastards shit. These motherfuckers know every fucking thing. This guy was talking to me, guy was checking this like, Elijah, you went through the bullshit that you went through. And look at you now. Look at you now. You are who you are because of the hell you went through. You know what you know because of the hell you went through. You put in the work that you put in to help heal and resolve your issues because of the bullshit you went through. And because you had the determination, I'm not going to be a fucking victim. I'm not going to walk around with this woe is me, why me bullshit mentality. You went through the bullshit that you went through. Why? Because you needed to learn some shit about that. But at the same time, you understood the big picture in regards to, damn, it ain't just about me. It ain't about me. It's a whole lot of motherfuckers being molested. The stats are that one in 3 women in America has been sexually abused. 1 in 3 will have been violated at least once in their life. 1 in 4 guys. 1 in 4 guys will have been violated once in their life, sexually. We don't talk about this shit. But it is what it is. So, Elijah, I had to come to the understanding. I went through the shit that I went through. As painful, as fucked up as it was. Why? Because I know who I am. What I mean by that, I know that I came here not just to grow up the fuck up myself, but to be a beacon of hope, a beacon of love for others, for others. I'm not knocking Jesus or anybody else. It's not about that. But don't tell me what the fuck God could do for me if you ain't been through what I've been through. You know what I mean? Don't come here talking all this bullshit about woo and you ain't experienced shit yet. You ain't struggled like I fucking struggled. This is one of the problems that I have with fucking religion and fucking Christian churches today. Oh, just pray about it and just fast and just keeping your tithes and offering. Keep showing up and God will deliver you. Oh, you ain't delivered because you don't believe. You got to have faith the size of a mustard seed and all this bullshit they spew to you. And all that does is fuck you up even more. All that does is make you even more pissed. Why? Because I believe and I have faith and I'm giving my tithes and my offering and I can't really afford to do it, but I'm doing it anyway. And I still ain't got better. I still ain't been healed from this broken heart. I still ain't been healed from my anger and my bitterness and my hatred for my daddy for what the fuck he did, or from my mama for what the fuck she did, or from my uncle, my cousin, my brother, my sister, whoever it was. I still got this fucking shit. I want to grab them by their motherfucking throat and just squeeze the fucking last breath out their ass. You know, we go through this shit. We have these fucking twisted ass thoughts. But we come to church all saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, water baptized, and all this other bullshit, running around faking the funk like everything is okay. But inside we dying. Inside we crying. Inside we're miserable as fuck. How come I ain't got no fucking peace? How come I ain't got no fucking joy? And we looking at everybody else faking the fucking funk. And so all we do then is we learn how to fake the fucking funk. We're going there today. We learn how to be great pretenders. And we never learn how to fucking heal. Because we're waiting for God to do it. We're waiting for Jesus to do it. Oh, I just got to have faith. And Jesus is going to take care of this. No, the fuck he ain't. We got to grow the fuck up. We have to grow the fuck up. That's what God had to show me was, Elijah, you went through all the hell that you went through because as a black man, you need to get up on a platform and tell other black men, Hispanic men, white men, Asian men, and every other culture that you were sexually assaulted as a 6-year-old kid. You started sleeping with all these fucking women, not because you was the fucking man, but because you had fucking issues. Not because you had fucking demons, but because you had issues. You were trying to prove that your ass wasn't gay. And the only way to prove that you ain't gay is sleep with the opposite sex. And so you was a fucking manhole trying to prove that your ass was straight. Not because you were demented and you had all these fucking evil spirits on you, but because you were fucking hurt and you didn't know how to deal with your fucking hurt and your trauma in a healthy manner. And so they told you to pray about this shit. They told you to fast and all this other bullshit that don't fix shit. All it does is make you feel worse about yourself. Because how come God hasn't delivered me yet? God must be mad at me. God must not want me delivered. And with God wants you delivered, but you're not going to get delivered by praying about it. You're not going to get delivered by fasting over this shit. You're not going to get delivered by just showing up to church. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. That's not going to save your fucking ass. That's not going to heal your fucking ass. Grow the fuck up and deal with your fucking issues. Deal with your fucking trauma. And so the trip is, we go to church and we put on T.D. Jakes and Benny Hinn and Creflo Dollar and all these other people because we want to learn about the Word of God. they'll teach you about the word of God. But when it's time to deal with some real shit, when it's time to get down to the nuts and bolts of your fucking twisted psychotic mind, oh, you can't talk to nobody. Oh, you too big to have a life coach. Oh, you too important to have a mentor. You too big. You too important. You too significant. You's a boss bitch. You's a boss lady. Whatever the fuck you want to call yourself. But you too arrogant. You too woke. You too saved to go sit up under somebody and let them help you with your twisted ass fucking thoughts. And they help guide you through the navigation of your twisted fucking path. You can't get the psychological help you need. But you go say, you go sit up under all these fucking preachers. You'll go sit up under all these fucking teachers to help save your fucking soul. Let me tell you a secret what God had to show me. Your soul ain't never been lost. It's your fucking twisted ass mind that's lost. I'm gonna say this again because I know this is gonna offend you. I know this is gonna piss you off because it goes against your fucking religion. It goes against your fucking doctrine. Your soul has never been fucking lost. It's your fucked up thought process, your ego that's fucking lost. So we gotta grow the fuck up. We gotta grow. I know this is a hard word to hear. I know this is hard. This is rough. And it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not sugarcoating shit. I'm not tiptoeing around your fucking ego. I don't give two fucks about your ego and how sensitive you are. Grow the fuck up. I give two fucks about your education, your title, your doctorate degree, and any of that other bullshit. How much money? I don't give two fucks about that shit. None of that shit mean anything to me. That don't impress me. That don't impress God. God don't give a fuck how you came from rags to fucking riches. God don't give a fuck if you slept your way to the top or not. God don't give a fuck if you own your corporation and you're a billionaire. God don't give a fuck about that shit. That don't impress God. God want to know, are you going to grow the fuck up emotionally and spiritually? Or are you going to keep playing these little fucking bullshit games? That's what God wants to know. And so when you sit there and you deal with your bullshit and you say, okay, well, damn, I've had a traumatic life. I've gone through this, I've done this, I've gone through this, that. Okay. Now, how can I turn this around? See, most of us, a lot of us, we look at shit and it's like, okay, well, how can I make money off of this shit? How can I profit off of this? Because we look at money as the answer for every fucking thing. If you're not making money off of this shit, and you wasting your life, you wasting you wasting your talents, It ain't about fucking money. Money's nice to have, don't get it twisted. But that should not be your motive for every fucking thing you do. And so, God had to show me Elijah. You could talk about a lot of things to a lot of people because you've been there. You've experienced it. You could talk about being rejected and abandoned. You could talk about being verbally beat down, emotionally beat down, physically assaulted, sexually assaulted. You could talk about this shit because you've lived it. You've walked it. You've healed from it. You could talk about the pain and suffering and the agonizing, fucked up life of not having your mama, of seeing your mama brutally murdered right in front of you. You could talk about how one event can create a domino of a bunch of fucking other issues that go back to that one event. Because you saw your mama murdered, Elijah, and you were screaming in agonizing fucking pain, and nobody heard you but your daddy And he didn't get two fucks about you screaming and crying. It didn't stop him from stabbing your fucking mom right in front of you. And so what did that do to you, Elijah? That silenced your voice. That made you feel like, man, nobody listens to me. Nobody want to hear me. My voice don't matter. What I say doesn't matter. I'm nobody. Even my daddy didn't like me. Even my daddy rejected me because I'm nobody. What else did that do for you, Elijah? That made me put on, it didn't make me, but I chose to put on this fucking Captain Saberhold tape. What I mean? Man, every time I saw some woman being abused, man, my ass, because I couldn't save my mama, I had to come to this fence of this poor woman getting abused and getting traumatized. Every time I saw some broken woman, man, let me come to her fucking rescue. Every time I saw a broken woman, man, let me get in a relationship with her. Why? So I can help her, so I can heal her, so I can fix her. Why? Because I got Captain Saberhold mentality. Because I got issues going back to my mama being murdered, and I couldn't fix it. I couldn't save her. I was too weak, too small. So I'm lifting all these weights, trying to get yoked up, so nobody ever fuck with me again. So nobody would ever fuck with my loved ones again. From that one event. From that one event of seeing my mama murdered. But all these other little pieces around it. Look at all these things that attach to that one event. So when we start to really dive deep and look at our trauma, it's not just one thing. It's a bunch of other bullshit that's gotten attached to that one thing. So when we talk about healing ourselves, when we talk about resolving some shit, oh, it's a whole lot of shit that we gotta fix. It's a whole lot of shit we gotta heal from. We have to fucking understand, why did I go through this? Okay. One, because I chose to go through it. This is the reason why I came here to this planet. Two, I had to learn some shit about this. Okay. Karma says that, man, I've done this in the past. I made other people feel like this. I may not remember it in this lifetime, but I made other people feel like this. And so I had to experience this so that I could understand that I can't do this shit. Because this is what I made others feel like. So I had to understand that pain and that suffering that I created for others. And here's a trick. We have to be careful what we do. We have to be careful what we say. See, because you could break somebody's heart without even trying to break their hearts. You say different. My father rejected me. My father didn't want shit to do with me because I reminded him of my mom. I was a mama's boy. I was clingy to my mama. Named after my father. Not no more. I changed my name. You know what I mean? But I was named after his ass. And he didn't want shit to do with me. Stay with me. And that fucked me up emotionally. That fucked me up emotionally. But what I had to learn was that, yeah, God allowed all this shit to take place. Because he understood that, okay, the big picture, Elijah's going to figure this shit out. Elijah's going to get in alignment. And Elijah's going to get to a place where he understands everything for what it is. He's going to be able to see the real behind the illusions, behind the feelings. He's going to be able to discern what is real. and what wasn't. So, Elijah, I'm looking at all the shit I've gone through. I'm looking at my dad and how my dad was. And what that's taught me later on in life was Elijah. And I look at all the women that have broke my heart, all the women that have abandoned me. What that's taught me was Elijah. You have to be careful. It may not be your intention, but somebody may love you or want you, and you don't want them back that way. You know they're not for you, and that's going to make them feel rejected. That's going to make them feel unloved. That's going to make them feel unworthy. That's going to make them feel like they don't matter. That's going to make them feel like nobody cares. The same way your daddy and these women made you feel, Elijah, there are going to be women that you're going to make feel that exact same way. Not that you're doing this shit on purpose. There's going to be women, Elijah, that come to you and you're just not attracted to. You're not connected to them. You know they're not the one for you. And that's going to fuck them up. That's going to hurt them. That's going to devastate them. That they were ballsy enough to reach out to you. They had the confidence to reach out to you and to open up themselves and tell you what to do and send you pictures and videos of them and and what they could do for you and blah, 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 blah. And you're not going to fall for it. You're not going to want it. And that's going to hurt them. That's going to make some of them suicidal. Be mindful of that. Be mindful of how you turn people down. Be mindful of how you reject people. Be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of what you do. That doesn't mean that you walk around on eggshells. That doesn't mean that you walk around tiptoeing around people trying not to offend people. You live your life, but you understand the big picture. Damn. Just like these people rejected me or whatever the case may be, man, I've rejected people too. I've turned people down too. There's a whole lot of guys that for whatever reason, man, they want to hook up. Especially once I got the platform. They want to hook up. And it's like, that's just not me. That's not how I go. That's not my thing. You know what I mean? Do what you do. But that's not that has nothing to do with me. A bunch of women that sent me pictures and videos. That's not me. That's great. You're beautiful. Man, that's ooh-wee, bro. You know what I mean? Man, look at that ass, man. Titties, look at that kitty cat. Da, da, da. Man, those thoughts go through our mind. Still talking about healing. Still talking about healing. See, because the healing, once you start growing up and you start understanding that, man, it's not just about you. It's about other people too. And your interactions with them. Because you understand they're going to have to heal too. There's some things that they need to heal too. And so God allows us to go through all this bullshit so that we could grow up, so that we could grow into an understanding of who we are and why we're here, so that we can be compassionate and loving and giving and understanding, so that we can stop being so fucking judgmental and self-righteous, so we can stop being so quick to condemn motherfuckers to hell that we don't know where the fuck they've been and what they've gone through. so we can stop looking down on others, so we can send them love and positive energy. You've gone through what you've gone through, and it's been painful. It's made you question yourself. It's made you question God. And if you're like me, you grew up hating God. You want to go to war with God. Because why would God take my mama like that? Why would God take my wife like that? Why would God allow me to go through all the bullshit that I did? Because he saw the big picture. See, I didn't understand back then that I would have a platform. I didn't understand back then that meant I would have a mouthpiece and a voice to be able to reach people all over the fucking world. I didn't understand back then that I would be in this position to where I could be on a video and send a video around the world and people be like, damn, I can relate to that. Damn, I feel that. Damn, I went through that. Damn, I was just struggling with that. Damn, I was just thinking about that. Damn, I feel his pain. I feel his frustration and his hurt and his anger. Man, I get it now. I get it now. It's not about just me. And it's not about just you. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. The world is bigger than you. But here's the trick. The world is incomplete without you. The world is incomplete without your story. Going back to the jigsaw puzzle. Each of us, our story is one tiny piece of the puzzle. And what God had to show me was, Elijah, I'm manipulating and orchestrating all of these events. I'm taking this piece from way over here, and it's going to connect with this piece from way over here. And I'm bringing this piece from way over here, and this piece is going to connect with this piece. And this piece back here is going to connect with this piece. And this piece is going to connect with this piece. And this piece over here is going to connect with this piece. And this piece way back here in Timbuktu is going to connect with this piece right here. And all these pieces, I'm bringing them together. Why? Because it's making a beautiful story. It's creating a beautiful picture. And every piece has its own story. Without every piece, the picture is incomplete. God's orchestrating some stuff. And it is what it is. Because he needs you to share your story. He needs you to grow the fuck up. He needs you to deal with your fucking trauma and your drama and your baggage. He needs you to play your part. And your part is not sitting here acting like a fucking victim. Your part is not sitting here with this fucking man-hating mentality. Your part is not sitting here money over bitches and money over hoes and fuck bitches and fuck these women and woo. That's not your fucking part. Your part is healing. Healing the shit that fucked you up. Dealing with that fucking loneliness you have. Dealing with your fucking insecurities. Dealing with your racism and your hatred of others and yourself. Learning how to forgive yourself. Learning how to forgive others. Because you're not perfect. You've never been perfect. How the fuck can you expect your mama, your daddy, and everybody else to be perfect when your ass have never been perfect? And that was one of the hardest lessons I had to learn. I wasn't perfect. I made mistakes. Even though they were unintentional, I made mistakes. And I chose to do some shit wrong. I did. I chose to do some bullshit. But even that, God had to show me, Elijah, you're okay. You're not perfect. You're never going to be perfect in this life. Accept that. Embrace that. It's humbling. It keeps you connected with me. Just don't put that projection of perfectionism on other people. Stop demanding and expecting others to be perfect when you know you're not. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make poor choices. That's part of their growth and development. That's part of their journey. That's part of their story. And God needs their story just like he needs your story. God needs their piece of the puzzle just like he needs your piece of the puzzle. Just because they don't connect with you doesn't mean that they don't belong in the same puzzle. They just belong in a different part of the puzzle. Just because somebody don't want you don't mean that they don't belong in the story. Don't mean that they don't belong in the puzzle. They just don't belong with you. They just don't connect with you. And that's okay. Just because they don't look like you, just because they don't have your religious beliefs, just because they don't have your political beliefs, just because they don't have your social beliefs, doesn't mean that they don't belong in the same story. Doesn't mean that they don't belong in the same puzzle. They just belong in a different parts, a different place. But they're still part of the story. And without them, the puzzle is incomplete. It's not whole. It takes all of these pieces to make the puzzle perfect, complete. Stop being so judgmental. Stop criticizing yourself so much. Stop tearing yourself down. Learn to be patient with yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to heal yourself. And then you can help others heal. Then you can help others along the way. I hope and pray that I said something to bless you, to encourage you, to challenge your way of thinking. I love you guys. Namaste. Happy healing. Peace.